Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not currently a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes. You have options out there. You can do different things. I am adjusting my shelving because it was in frame and I don't want that. You can use other people's emotes. You can just say hi. You can also be a lurker. It's the first of the month. It is now August 2022. Our gift sub leaderboard has been reset. Our bits and coins, our cheer leaderboard has been reset. I got a new song on the stream deck. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Working on, it's not a new model kit because we started it on Saturday, but there it is. There's our friends right there. The Heavyarms Custom from Endless Waltz Master Grade that was reissued in 2011 with as the Heavyarms Master Grade, and then 2016 they made the Endless Waltz version, which I pre-ordered from Premium Bandai this year. Just Another Spicy is here. Welcome, Just Another Spicy. Aristophan is here. Hello, Aristophan. Happy to have you as always. Aristophan is our Tier 2 subscriber, so they get the cool Tier 2 Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Pat emote. Appreciate that. Speaking of having emotes, that's what you get from being a subscriber. Currently, we're at 34 out of 40 subscribers. Ghost Valve's here. Hello, Ghost Valve. And Just Another Spicy says, I was Spicy Mustard, but changed my name. There you go, Spicy. Okay. I believe I was still calling you Spicy when you were Spicy Mustard. But yes, great. Thank you for the update. I do appreciate it, genuinely. It is, sometimes people change their usernames and they don't say anything because they forgot they didn't tell anyone or they didn't tell everyone. But yeah, we're at 34 subscribers. 40 is when I get 40 a month is like, means I should earn enough to get a payout. Cause like Patreon is like, whatever you earn, you get at the first of the month. Whatever you earn, great. Everyone gets charged. That's a subscriber. That's your patron. Great. Twitch is like, you got to hit $100. When you get hit $100, 15 days after you hit $100, you get that payout. So that's why we try to get to 40 subscribers a month, because it's about $100, give or take. That's why I changed it, since people just call me Spicy. Well, there you go. You're just another Spicy out there. Lord Crashton says, hey, Pat. Hey to you, Lord Crashton. Thanks for being here. So if I remember correctly about doing these kinds of kits, which are all based on the 90s kits for these Gundams, we did the hardest part, which is getting all the chest parts to line up correctly. And it did take a while. It took a lot of Saturday stream was getting this chest built correctly, but we did. As far as I can tell, every part of this is done properly, and now we're just chill to move on. Because this is the Heavyarms, and it doesn't have arms right now. Can you believe it? It doesn't have any arms. It needs arms. It can't be heavy without those arms. So we got to build some arms. Technically, we're starting with the shoulders. We're going to do some arm components and then move on to the shoulders, which I believe... Do the shoulders have stickers? The shoulders pieces that go together? I can't remember. Yes, there are stickers. So the chest component here is plastic on plastic, which is beautiful. Oh, what do we got right here? Dirty just subscribed to Tier 1. That's 36 months. Dirty saying 3 years of anime and Gundam chat. Well, thank you so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. Thank Dirty very much. Thank you very much, Dirty. If you're a subscriber, you can throw the emotes in the chat. Dirty, thank you so much for your continued support. 36 months is so many months. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for that. That rules. And that's a Tier 1. So, so we're working on the arms. So this is plastic on plastic. Unfortunately, coming up, we are going to have stickers. We're going to get into some more stickers. They're not going to match as well because it's going to be like the shoulder parts, and then it's going to be like the waist, and it's not going to look as good, but it'll be okay. All right, we'll get into the model kit building in just a second. I do like to give people a chance to kind of like come in casually to like not be to be like, oh, to actually get the notification, because like it has to send it out to a lot of people. Some people aren't watching other streams, or they're just like, oh yeah, I forgot it's 9 o'clock. I think the experiment of posting an event on my Discord is over, and I might do that for like extra one-off streams. But like y'all know, when I stream, seems to be more important. I think I'm gonna stop making the events on the Discord, because y'all know if I had a more sporadic schedule, maybe, or like when I go to New York and I'm going to be there on a Saturday and I don't know when I'm going to stream, it might make sense to be like, hey, check the Discord, because I'll post that. But like right now, I don't know. Sometimes Twitch doesn't send the emails for whatever reason. Yeah, sometimes Twitch doesn't send like the little notification. They do it in waves, and if they don't get everyone within a couple waves, and they just don't, and that's fun. It's not fun. I've tied too much of my livelihood to this service. If you did not think I was going to rant about some fucking Twitch shit, y'all wrong. We're gonna do it. Your account is. Someone I know has an unlocked account. They locked their account, and I don't know why. And that's a later Pat investigation. But yeah, we're gonna get into model kit building here, and I'm gonna talk some shit about Twitch and one of their poor decisions. Now, you may have seen this on Twitter. I was talking about it. Lord Crashington posted it in the Discord, which was good. It's good to have that. We'll put this up here. We don't need to see that right now. But anyway, hey, what's up, Rystream Gunpla? Happy to have you here. TwitchCon San Diego is coming up, and they updated their health and safety stuff on their website to include the information that they are not going to require masks or proof of vaccination or negative COVID testing to enter. So while they encourage masks, they are not mandating them. And while they encourage people to be vaccinated, you don't have to be to go. We should also point out that San Diego Comic-Con, which is in the same exact building, had a vaccination or proof of negative test results and a mask requirement. So the same venue had it. So it's, even though they're like local guidance doesn't say you can't make people. Like the state of California, flat out, the city of San Diego, flat out, is not saying you can't tell people they have to wear a mask. You can't tell people that they have to you have to prove that they have been vaccinated. California's not doing that. Maybe some other states are doing that. California is not doing that because San Diego Comic-Con had those restrictions in place. So it's not them. Dirty says, I'm going to get in trouble tomorrow for not doing any work for the last hour of work today. In my defense, I ran out of work, and the supervisor left in charge did not have the system permission required to assign work. I mean, hopefully you have some ground on that, and your defense will carry. I don't know, but good luck. Bobby says, seems like a weird decision at a time where it feels like everyone is catching COVID. Yup. And Lord Krasny says, I love corporations only doing the bare minimum because they're not legally required. So instead of giving a damn about people, they want to come to their event. So, obviously, all of these things are to make money. But if people die, then you can't get money from them. Also, you may remember, PAX East, PAX East was not going to have those requirements for the in-person. They changed their minds. They did it mostly because of a lot of pressure. Now going forward, that is what is happening with PAXes, which makes sense to do. So one could imagine that an outcry will happen enough that people will be like, because, hey, look, small bubble, obviously, of people that I follow and know, but I know some people that were going, and I know at least two people that were like, I have to really make the decision if that makes any sense for me to go. And they won't be the only people making those decisions, or at least having to think about those decisions. Look, would you lose out on some people? Sure. But they just fucking did the Amsterdam show, and there were people who got COVID there. Did they get it because they were at the convention? That's very difficult to say, but they got it around there. And it just feels awful for this. Like, it's 2022. COVID is still a fucking thing. You put on a goddamn mask when you are surrounded by people. And they're going to want to pack it. They're going to want to pack it full of people. It's just a dim-witted decision because they can 100%. Like, other company, like I said, San Diego Comic-Con just did it. You can just say, hey, that's what we're doing here. You know, you can worry about vendors, but like these vendors at this point will do whatever they need to. Like, vendors don't have any power in this, right? Vendors have no power. I don't care who you are. Nobody has the power. No vendor has power in this particular instance because they didn't have conventions. So yeah, convention centers want to fill it with people. They want to get people in the door. They want to have these big events. But they also can't possibly lose out on attendance. So like, do whatever you can to make it reasonable for people to be there. Yeah, it's just like completely ridiculous. Because one might argue that the supposed audience for a TwitchCon are young people that want to go see the Twitch affiliates and Twitch partners that they really like. They don't, maybe there'll be some games and gaming and all that, but they want to go see the people that they really like. That's why they're going to TwitchCon, right? And maybe those people are predominantly young that would be going to an event like this. And so maybe those folks won't give a shit either way. But you have to imagine part of the appeal of TwitchCon is going to see these partners and affiliates that you love so much. Wouldn't you imagine that these partners and affiliates who are traditionally older than the audience would be more inclined to be worried about COVID? One should imagine that those people, the people that you literally need and have contracts with, would be like, hey, wait, what is going on? Why is this happening? It just feels short-sighted and foolish. It feels incredibly short-sighted and unbelievably foolish, if I can use some hyperbole. Shit's bad, y'all. I do very much hope that public pressure exists enough to force their hands. One could imagine a world where they did this so that there would be blowback. Because, and I have no proof of this, it felt like that's what happened with PAX. It was a PAX West. It wasn't a PAX East. I should clear. It was a PAX West, and they were basically, Reed was putting out the line that like, well, yeah, this is the thing, and this is how we have to do business. And then there was an outpouring of people being like, what are you talking about? And then they were like, all right, we listened to you, hey, PAX attendees, we've listened and we hear you, and we're going to institute these policies. And people were like, good. So it's possible that they're doing that. But it's more likely that they were just like, we don't have to worry about that shit. People will come anyway. Frustrating. I certainly would not be attending a convention where I wasn't. Like, here's the thing, right? Obviously, if I go to a convention, I'm going to mask up no matter what, right? I'm wearing a mask at a con if I go to a convention. But the idea of going to a convention where people aren't required, where COVID, vaccination isn't required, all that like just feels unbelievably like a thing I don't want anything to do with. Like just a thing that I don't want to be associated with at all. That's what it feels like to me anyway. All right, I got to get these parts assembled. I have fucked up this in the past, so I am I'm taking a second to not look at y'all at chat while I try to get this assembled, because I want to make sure that I'm doing this right, and I believe I am, because this part of the arm I have built before in such a way that I was like, oh, nope, that's just fucking wrong. And then I have to take everything apart to fix it, and it's annoying to do that, so. Yeah, you're trying to make sense of the internet. I mean, sometimes, Rye, sometimes I do try to make sense of people. Like I said, it is one of those things where you're like, what convention, and maybe it's because TwitchCon it is a yearly event. It's not like a company like that is running events that wants to run 6 to 10 events a year, right? TwitchCon is twice a year right now. Sure, maybe they don't care if they have the stigma of like, hey, whatever happened to that streamer? Oh, they got COVID at TwitchCon. Like, apparently that doesn't bother them, and that is like an acceptable thing to have that. But it feels like it shouldn't be an acceptable thing for them, that they shouldn't be like cool with that shit. That's just me. I guess that's just me. Anyway, let's start working on the shoulder rockets of the right arm. I'm going to start with the right arm. We're going to get both Fs. This kit has F and F, which is annoying. It's got dark gray F, and it's got dark blue. And it's silly. It's goofy and silly that they did 2 Fs. And then they have to just keep writing like, this is the F dark blue piece. This is the other F piece. And it's just like, why? Why did you do this? I'm not, I remember being very surprised when I built this kit, the master grade of this, of the regular heavy arms years ago. I'm just being like, what? Why are they doing this? Anyway, other things. Let's talk some wrestling. Let's talk some wrestling a bit. There was a WWE event. Did they run out of letters? No, they didn't. They skipped some letters because it goes like A, B, C, D, E, F to I, J, K, and then X, A, X, B, and X, B. There's double X, B. So like this kit has other letters they could have used, but for whatever reason, instead of this should be G, and it's not. It's just dark blue F. I don't know. I've never understood it. I don't think I ever will understand what the fuck that was supposed to be. All right, so we need that. We're going to need a bunch of rocket pieces in here. I need E. I pull E out. Let's get E. All right. So there was a bunch of wrestling. SummerSlam happened. It was the first WWE. They don't call them pay-per-views anymore because you can watch them on the network. So technically, the majority of wrestling fans that watch WWE stuff don't watch via pay-per-view. Premium live events, they call them, but I still call them pay-per-views because it's just easier to refer to that. Anyway, there was a premium live event, and it was the first one without Vince McMahon. Oh yes, Lord Crashington does bring up a good point. The biggest wrestling story of the weekend was, of course, Mick Foley got his Twitter account hacked, and that person was selling PS5s at retail price, and was going to donate the money to charity. Not which charity, but it was DM him if you want to buy some PS5s at retail price. And then Mick had to get on Instagram and be like, yeah, I know. My bank charity, yes. And he apparently, according to Mick, did not have to pay a ransom, got into the account. But also, he didn't get back in for like 20-something hours, like a day. like a whole day. It was, and yes, part of the time he was at Ric Flair's last match, the show, just sitting there in the front row. Mick Foley was there for the pre-show and everything. He sat there in the front row for all of that show. Now, Mick Foley does have trouble walking at this point, so hopefully the seat was very comfortable. But it was, it was very funny that it was just like, oh man, nobody's helping out Mick, huh? Nobody's making any call. Well, Mick's not calling any favors in on this one, huh? All right, there you go. I guess we know how Mick's doing right now. He can't get anybody to fucking get on the phone, get that shit straightened out. His Instagram was fine, which is nice because that way he could get the message out that like, hey, this is obviously a scam. You're not buying retail price PS5s from me for charity. This is a scam. Come on, don't DM me right now. Very silly. Anyway, that was a big wrestling story. But anyway, I'm not going to go through every match at SummerSlam. Bayley's back, which rules because I love Bayley. Pam is a fantastic wrestler. I'm very happy that she's returned. She was not alone. We had Io Shirai under the new name Io with a Y, Sky. Io Sky. Whose apparently contract was gonna expire. Her contract was due to expire soon, and they did not have any creative for NXT. They weren't gonna bring her up. Her contract was just gonna probably expire, and then she would have been out. But instead, one would assume she got some new money. But also, she's up there now. And Dakota Kai, who had been laid off, had been let go, and has re-signed with the company and is back, which makes a lot of sense. And they are a trio, and I believe they will have a name. I don't know what it is. Bayley did tweet out the Control with a photo of them, which could be their name. I don't know. That's cool. I like that. I like Dakota Kai. I'm happy she's back. I like Io Shirai. I'm glad she's not leaving. And most importantly, Pam's there. And I love Bayley. Bayley is fantastic. So that was cool. Becky Lynch turned face. And that's good because the crowd has been wanting to cheer for her for a fucking year and couldn't because she was a villainess. And so they could not cheer for her, and now they get to. And so folks seem to be happy about that. Other things, let's see. Hey, chat, I don't want this to be a whole thing. We're not going to dwell on this too much. I do have to say this out loud, and it's... I genuinely do hate how much I respect the work ethic and wrestling acumen of Logan Paul. I don't like Logan Paul. I'll never like Logan Paul. I don't like his brother. I don't like either of the Pauls. But the man can do a good job in a wrestling ring, and it's very funny that they want him to be a face, and the audience... Here's the thing. The audience will still boo him, but will also cheer good wrestling moves. And apparently that's really the secret is you can be a garbage person that the audience does not want to see, but if you do enough good wrestling moves, they'll be like, all right. Yeah. Yes. Look, Logan Paul is awful garbage. And my feelings on him have not changed because he is a competent person in the wrestling ring. Also, if the rumors are true that Miz and Logan went long, which caused time to get taken away from Liv Ronda, I don't love that. I didn't love Liv Ronda in general. That match was put together weird. Because it was meant to turn Ronda heel, but she's justified in being mad because She should have won, and then it makes the champion. Obviously, the champion's the underdog, but it makes her even more the underdog. And also, of course, I very much, very much, very much hate Ronda Rousey as a person as well. So, like, you put all those things together, it's just like, ugh. There's a lot of me not being pleased over stuff. All right, let's get the back of this shoulder done, which is F8. F8 there. I wouldn't complain about less Ronda Rousey. Yes, I would love Ronda Rousey to go away, but we're not getting that. We're going to get Liv. Liv is going to have to beat an evil heel Ronda Rousey. But most likely Ronda's going to win the belt in Wales, probably. Clash at the Castle. That's my guess, which sucks. But I think that's going to be it. I think the Liv experiment will be over in Wales. I've never heard anything good about her. So yeah, Lashbrook, I don't know either, because Ronda Rousey can't act for shit. So you should make her heel because she clearly hates the audience and hates wrestling and hates everyone and hates being there. She hates it. And it's very clear she hates it. So she should just be a heel. Now, part of the reason why she hates it is because people boo her, and she does not like that. She does not like being booed, and takes it legit. She's such a bad actor that she takes it personally when people boo her when she was a heel. Also, people do. Not everyone boos her when she's a face, but a lot of people do. But yeah, she's not a heel. She is turning heel now for the justified reason that in her match, Liv tapped out before, basically, Ronda had Liv in an armbar, but Ronda's shoulders were down. So the referee tapped 1, 2, 3, or did 1, 2, 3, and Ronda lost. But during the 1, 2, 3, Liv tapped out of the armbar. So technically, Ronda should have won. And the ref screwed up. And Ronda was mad about that and attacked the referee, which, you still shouldn't do, but she was justified in being mad about it. And that's really annoying because I don't need Ronda to be justified in being a heel. I need Ronda to just be an evil heel and just fucking get mad for losing to Liv Morgan, I should say. So yeah. Let's see. Other things. Bobby Lashley beat Theory. Theory's just taking a beating. He's definitely paying his dues. I don't know if he's actually going to be champion, but if he is, it won't seem like he earned it because he just gets beat up by everybody. This guy has the money in the bank and should be somewhat credible, but is not. And it's weird. It's weird choices all around that he is so not credible as a possible future champion. Very funny. Let's see. Edge is back. He helped out the Mysterios. Beat the Judgment Day. Judgment Day loses a lot. And I think that's probably bad. But it's a good, feel-good thing for the show, so I understand it. Let's see. Pat McAfee pinned Happy Corbin. Technically, that is his 8th win in that venue because he won 7 games when he was in the Colts in that venue, and then he won 1 wrestling match in that venue. So technically, he's I believe 8-1. But obviously that doesn't necessarily count. But I think it's funny. I think it's funny to say that it's just like, oh, Pat gets his 8th win in the venue. Look, Pat McAfee. It's a very WWE stat. Pat, I like Pat on commentary. I don't listen to his podcast and radio show stuff because I'm not particularly interested in sports. And so I don't engage with that stuff. But he's a very good announcer. He has lit a fire in Michael Cole, which is it's just been fun to have like a rejuvenated, happy to be at work Michael Cole, and I like that a lot. I think this is not Pat McAfee's best match, but also Pat McAfee has not had that many matches, and one of them was against Adam Cole and was fucking incredible. So, like, I don't know. It was better than the Theory match. It was, but it wasn't his best work. I don't need a lot. Here's the real thing. The real honest thing is, I missed hearing Pat McAfee on commentary, and I'd rather have him be a commentator than be a person that wrestles. Adam Cole did leave the company. This was, I was talking about Michael Cole, the announcer. So, both things are true. One, while Adam Cole was in NXT, he wrestled against Pat McAfee, and it was a really fucking good match. And two, another thing that is true is Michael Cole, the announcer, is paired on SmackDown with Pat McAfee, and they have a very good time together. And it's just very obvious that Pat McAfee, that Michael Cole really enjoys working with Pat McAfee. But yes, also Adam Cole did leave. He is in AEW. He is currently injured, but he's also in AEW. All right, so we need F33. F33. There we go. So yeah, a lot going on there. But yeah, I missed him on commentary. I'd rather have him. The Usos retained against the Street Profits. This was not as good as their last match, and also, I don't know who's going to beat the Usos because they don't have the only tag team in WWE. Look, there are two tag teams in WWE that win matches, and one is the Mysterios, and I guess you could have father and son against brothers, and that would be kind of interesting. The other tag team that's doing very well is the Viking Raiders, but they're heels, and I don't know if they would do heel versus heel. I guess they could turn the Viking Raiders babyface, but it would feel very weird if they did. So I don't know what's going on there. Adam Cole, wrestler. Michael Cole, announcer. Yes, there you go. You got it. All right, so we're almost done here with the shoulder. So Seth Rollins and Riddle, Matt Riddle, but they just call him Riddle. Why? I don't know, but that is what happened. So Rollins and Riddle were supposed to have a match. In storyline, Rollins hurt Riddle, and then Riddle couldn't compete. So Riddle came out to cut a promo, and he was just like, whatever, bro. And, I miss Randy. Randy Orton. And then Seth Rollins came out and attacked him again. And this is most likely probably setting up for their match at Clash at the Castle, which is the show in Wales in September. One would assume they were just going to, instead of having that be like the sequel match, they're just going to make that the first match. That seems to be what's happening. But anyway, they brawled. I don't know about names and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see Matt Riddle, if we'll see Austin Theory. I don't know if you'll start seeing names return. I don't know if that's a thing that Triple H cares about one way or the other. I don't have that information. To me, that's low on the agenda, is fixing names, returning names. That's lower on the agenda than all the other goddamn shit that they have to do in that company. Let's see. Liv and Ronda, blah, blah, talked about that. Okay, so the main event. Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but the most important character in Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match where when you are fully on the ground and you are not on your feet, the referee will count to a count of 10, and if you cannot get to your feet by the end of the 10 count, you lose. That is the only way. No pinfalls, no submissions. Count of 10. If you cannot respond to a count of 10, and stand up. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Again. The star of that match was a giant tractor. So not just a tractor, a legitimately goddamn unbelievably large tractor was the main character in that match, because at one point, well, Brock Lesnar came out drove it to the ring, then leaped off of the it. At one point, he rammed the ring and physically pushed the ring via the tractor, and then lifted a corner of it into the air and left it like that. And the rest of the match happened outside the ring, and there was a whole section of the audience that couldn't see what was happening because the ring had been raised. And I've never seen that shit before. I've seen rings be destroyed by like two large men doing like a suplex off the top rope, a superplex. I've seen that happen. I've never fucking seen a ring be lifted by a tractor. It was fucking unbelievably awesome and very silly in a way that I can get behind. It was very good. I was very impressed with it. It was nonsense. Yes, kind of, yeah. Yeah, he's Farmer Brock, and yeah. But the milk truck was just like, drive it at the ring, get out, hose people down, you know, that, the beer truck, the milk truck, that kind of stuff. This was move the goddamn ring around. Also, Roman Reigns was in the ring when it got lifted up, and that was just a nonsense visual to look at. It was weird in the best possible way. Okay, so why am I getting these weird? Is this right? This should clip in a way that makes sense. This looks like I'm doing it correctly. I am. Great. Excellent. Got to get these correct. Then I need A2, so we'll dig into A2. Farmer. So Brock Lesnar, his son or sons, I can't remember. He is a farmer. He owns a farm, and he's been coming out with a cowboy hat, and he comes out with like jeans and a flannel, and also he has a terrible haircut. That apparently was like a dare from his kids. His kids were like, you won't go on TV with your hair in a braid. And he was like, all right, I'll do it. What do I care? This version of Brock is great because he is just having a good time. Like, he's just having a very fun time as a wrestler. And like I said, I did not need to see Brock versus Roman again, but I will take it. If it's silly like that. And hopefully this is the last time. This is the last time we'll see that match. It's got to be the last time. I don't necessarily think that... I think Drew McIntyre is going to beat Roman Reigns. And then I think Theory is going to cash in on Drew McIntyre. But I think Drew McIntyre is winning at Clash of the Castle as the premier United Kingdom former citizen or dual citizen. I don't know what he is. But, you know, he's Scottish. It's in Wales. It's not the same thing. I know that. But I can't necessarily count on the WWE to fully understand and appreciate that fact. All right, so... Oh, yeah, I got to put... All right, I got to put some stickers on here. And I got to put some stickers on this part as well. 8 and 7. Attach on opposite side. All right, I got to figure out where these stickers go because I got 6, 8, and 7 here. Okay, so 6 is a straight bar. Okay, I understand that. Great. So I got to put stickers on this side and that side. I was going to put them together here, and then I'll attach them on there. I see a vid of him in the flannel with a parade from October 21st. Yeah, so it's been since he came back, which was last year. This has been his vibe. All right, so let's get these stickers applied here. Do I wish this was plastic? Of course I do. Of course I wish this was plastic and not stickers, but this is what we've got. Um, yeah, he's having more fun than he did. He's cutting promos because he's not with Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman has hitched his wagon with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. But he's having a good time with it, which is sure, Brock. If you got to be there, at least have a good time with it, so other people can have a good time. All right, sticker. This sticker has been applied, and then is it 8? Is the one I need here? Yeah. And 7 goes on the other side? Yes, I believe. Okay. All right, so last night there was a show. It was Ric Flair's last match. There was a whole card. It was part of Starrcade. It was produced by his son-in-law, Conrad Thompson. And the main event was a tag match. Ric Flair's last match was a tag match. Him and Andrade, who is his other son-in-law, versus Jay Lethal, who trained Rick, and Rick has fought in TNA before, and Jeff Jarrett, who was just talking a lot of shit and basically get involved. Also, it's like a Crockett promotion thing. They made it all look like old school wrestling. They had fucking Tony Schiavone did play-by-play for the entire night, and they brought in. This is awesome. So, look, the idea of Ric Flair wrestling should not have happened. He should not have wrestled that night. This should not have been a thing, right? We're all capable of that. We're all capable of understanding that. We're all culpable in being a part of that. I did not pay for this event. I watched it with friends, and I did not pay for the viewing of this. And I definitely would have felt weird about paying for it. But because it was a card full of a lot of promotions, not WWE, although there were some videos from WWE superstars, nobody in person there was a current WWE wrestler. But a lot of other companies sent people. There were people from Jay Lethal represented Ring of Honor. There were people from Impact Wrestling. There were people from MLW. There were people from AAA. There were people from the NWA. So there was a bunch of people that came through to do matches in the undercard. And the undercard was good. There was the number one contender for the Progress title was determined. But the thing I liked about it was they had all these different announcers come in to hang out with Tony Schiavone and kind of just like cover the event and be like, here's stuff about these wrestlers that you might not know because I know them because I've been watching them. So I'm going to give you the information. And it was like very informative. You got to have a lot of different voices. A lot of the folks that came in to do commentary were, at least 2 of them were just like, I'm calling this with Tony Schiavone. Like, yeah, I'm excited for the night, but I get to call this match with you, Tony. Like, they just like people were kind of nerding out in a way that I liked. Almost all of the undercard matches were very short, which felt weird in some instances, like the 4-way fight for the number one contender for the Progress title, where Jonathan Gresham won against Alan 5 Angels, Konosuke Takeshita, and Nick Wayne. And I don't know shit about Nick Wayne, but I would like to learn more about him because he seemed like a pretty good wrestler. But that match was really fucking short. Gresham won, which makes sense. Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson fought against Ricky Morton and Kerry Morton. Everyone in that match looked really old. Now, Ricky Morton from the Rock and Roll Express is very old. His son, Kerry Morton, is not very old. Brock Anderson, not an old man. But all of those people, those 2 men who are not old, looked very fucking old. So, Brian Pillman Sr. was a member of the Four Horsemen briefly. Brock Anderson is the legit son of Arn Anderson. So they were like the new, the sons of the Four Horsemen against a member of the Rock and Roll Express and his tag team partner, his son. And that match was, Brock Anderson looks older than me, and he is half my age. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's in his early 20s, and he looks older than me. And I am 42. So I don't know what happened there, other than just like being the son of Arn Anderson just makes you an old man, I guess. That was fine. The match of the night, the legitimately best match. There were some good matches, but legitimately the best match of the night was Rey Fenix defeating Bandito, Laredo Kid, and Black Taurus. If you see a clip on Twitter of something to the effect of, hey, here's where Bandito almost broke his neck. Don't watch that clip, because Bandito fucks up a move in a way that he could have died had it not been for Black Taurus, who, besides saving his neck, is just an incredible wrestler. I love Black Taurus. I think he's just like a phenomenal wrestler. He's a big man that can fucking move. He's so good in the ring. He is not known in the United States, and I would like him to be. Yeah. Basically, there was a dive that should have been a heel kick, like a dive out of the ring and you just float over. But his legs, Bandito's legs caught the top rope. So he instead just went straight down. And he was supposed to be caught by Taurus, and he was caught right before his head just hit the outside. So Taurus definitely helped out a lot there. And then had to finish the move. But yeah, look, Rey Fenix winning makes a lot of sense. Did I want Rey Fenix to win? No. I wanted Black Taurus to win, because Taurus fucking rules. Josh Alexander Josh Alexander technically defeated Jacob Fatu, but I think it should have been a double disqualification. This is an MLW showcase, and then there was an attack by Brian Myers and what's his name, the Basham brothers, the Major League Boys, got out there and got involved. And then they were diamond cutted by DDP in a move. DDP was supposed to be sitting in the front row. The idea was DDP's in the front row. Camera goes to him and he's like, nah. And he jumps the barricade, comes in, gives him the diamond cutter for fucking around, gets a big pop from the audience. He doesn't have to wrestle, but like, you get DDP there, you have him do a thing. Here's the deal. DDP was not sitting at the front row because he wasn't watching the show. DDP got up to make his way to the front row, but the camera cut over to him before he had sat down. So the audience watched DDP get into position and then get up and go. And if he should have just kept going as if he wasn't sitting in the front row, but whatever. He just he did what he was supposed to do. It's just the camera person was too early. The production was actually surprisingly very good, considering it was, whatever. There were a lot of good people worked on production for it, but it was a little surprising that it went as well as it did, because it did feel a little ramshackled. But they hired good people, and those people for the most part did well. The Von Erichs defeated the Briscoe. Wait, did the Von Erichs win? I thought the Briscoes won. Y'all, I can't remember that shit. I thought for sure the Briscoes won, but I wrote down the Von Erichs one, and I don't remember. These are Kevin's sons. These are Kevin Von Erich's sons, and I can't tell them apart. They're in MLW. They trained in the dojo for New Japan. I don't have any information to tell you about them. They wear jeans, and one of them did the claw. And I can't remember if I wrote down that they won, but that can't be right. They couldn't have gone over the Briscoes. Whatever. Briscoes are garbage people, and I don't particularly enjoy watching them wrestle anyway. Jordan Grace defeated Diana Perrazzo and Rachel Ellering for the Impact Knockouts Championship. And Ellering suffered an accidental injury. She basically rolled her ankle. And she still competed. And they paused. I liked it was good. Somebody came out to check on her. This was clearly not a plan. But she powered through it. She could do the match and seemed to be okay. Which is good. I think it was mostly just like adrenaline kicked in or something. But yeah, she managed to do okay. And Jordynne Grace is just big and fucking strong. She's a strong ass wrestler. She's just a thick, strong wrestler. I respectfully, from a distance, appreciate Jordynne Grace. She's also a very good wrestler, but I am appreciating respectfully, because goddamn, god fucking damn, Jordynne Grace. And then the main event, Ric Flair was wearing the old WCW belt, the old belt that is still his, that he had won and never gave up. He wore that to the ring, and the way he walked to the ring made me feel bad. Him in this match made me feel bad. I felt very bad consistently watching him just try to do anything. It was awkward, and it was a thing that should not have happened. He should not have wrestled. This should not have been a thing. Jeff Jarrett looked like in incredible shape comparatively. Look, Andrade and Jay Lethal put on a good match. Andrade working babyface is interesting because that is a natural heel. Andrade just oozes heel and is so good at being a heel. So he had to work babyface with his fucking old ass father-in-law, and did okay. And Jay Lethal did all right. I don't like Jay Lethal at all. I think Jay Lethal fucking sucks as a person and is not my favorite as a wrestler. And Jeff Jarrett, whatever. Yeah, Lord Crashton, he also gave a speech where he was like, if that's my last match, it's not, or something. Like, he stumbled on his words in a way that was bad. He said something, I know he was trying to say, hey, I'm going to, like, Kid Rock is here, I'm going to go party with Kid Rock. And he said something to the effect of, everything you've heard about me is true. And I'm sure he meant that to be that I'm a guy that parties all night and, you know, sleeps around and just does whatever, and I'm a party animal. But considering things that have been said about him very recently, maybe that's not the right thing to fucking say, Rick. Also, don't put a mic on Rick, because he was clearly out of his goddamn mind at that point. Bloody and just a mess and just like crying and like, get out of there, Rick. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? It was a mess. It was a big old mess. Yeah, Kid Rock was at SummerSlam. Also, Kid Rock was there. Kid Rock made a weekend of it. If you ask Kid Rock to be there, he will, I guess. AEW game is going to have exploding barbed wire deathmatch an option. Sure, they should make that game fun and goofy. You know, they should have they should go all out and get silly with it. Did I fuck this part up? Was there supposed to be? No. There's no polycap in there. So when I do this goes in here. Again, this is the part where I'm like, maybe this is where I fuck up. No, that's got to go in the large. And then this goes in the small part. Anyway, Rick was a mess, and shouldn't have done this, and they shouldn't have let this happen, and it shouldn't have been a thing, but it was always going to happen, and it was always going to be a shit show, and it was always going to be a nightmare. So at least it's over, and now he's had his quote-unquote last match. Who the fuck knows if it is, but it should be. It should be over. This should be it. Hopefully it is. I don't know. Okay. What am I doing wrong here? What is this? Why is this feel bad and weird? This feels bad and weird. Sorry, folks. We're going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. His 12th last match. Yeah. I mean, I hope he doesn't do this a lot. I hope this is it. Okay, so this goes like this. And then this goes large size. So it goes like that. I think I'm doing this right. I don't know. Okay, this looks right. All right, I think I did this correctly. And it bends like that, and then that's the arm. Great. Okay. We will continue this, working on this arm here in a moment. Shane Helms joked that he's been to every last match and wedding that Ric Flair's had in the past 20 years. Yep. Dirty wants to get the dance button. I'm going to do that here. All right, this is the part of the stream where I talk about ways you can support the channel. First, I am going to debut the new dance song of the month. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance song. Here it is. That is our new dance song, which of course is music that I can play that is available for free in the Elgato music thing, so that I don't run into any issues with DCMA stuff, DMCA. Yeah, it's just like a dance. Hey, this is an easy listening dance song. It's just a song that really move and groove. Anyway, if you're new to the stream, this is what's happening. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. That song is played at a bar in Netflix rom-com. Totally. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel because I don't get to do this stuff without your generous support, and I appreciate it very much. If you are currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here. Either you could become a subscriber yourself with cash money, hook your credit card up to Twitch, or you could use your Prime Gaming token. You have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch. You put that to good use for me. I would appreciate it very much. If you are not currently a subscriber, you could become one. And I would appreciate that. That is a way to support what I do here financially. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community, I should say. Right now, the gift sub leaderboard has nobody there because it's a brand new month. It's August. So, one gifted sub puts you at the top of the gift sub leaderboard. You could do that. We're currently at 34 subscribers. You can see that around here. I would love to get to 40 subscribers. Hey, I'm John Welcome. 40 subscribers means that I don't have to worry as much about stuff. It means I will get paid every month. It would be very nice. I'm just putting some stuff away here. We're going to get back to building, but I'm just cleaning up this table. It got full of sprues. So subscribing is an easy way to support what I do here. It's not the only way, though. But again, bits and coins always appreciate it. If you'd like to become a subscriber, please do. If you want to gift a sub, that would be great. The goal is to get to 40. It's always to be at 40. I would just like to do that soon. And then I won't talk about it until we drop below 40, and then I bring it up again. Anyway, I have a Patreon. Today is legitimately the best day to join my Patreon because it's the first of the month, and you get the whole month because they charge you on the first. So they charge you when you sign up, and they charge you on the first. So this way, you get the whole month of August. You can look at my previous Q&A that I just put up the other day. You can, my schedule went up today, my streaming schedule for the first half of the month. You can find out all the information. Different rewards for different tiers. Take a look at that. Consider it. Please do. I have a YouTube channel. Now, subscribing to my YouTube is obviously free. Please subscribe if you haven't already. But if you want to go the extra mile, you could become a member. And $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. Tomorrow, I send an email out to my $5 and $10 patrons and my $2 YouTube subscribers. So you get that. So take a look at that. Now, those are all monthly ways to support me. But also, hey, if you just want to do a one-time, that would be great. Through Stream Elements, Coffee, and PayPal. And everything I make through those, well, that goes right into me buying model kits, along with everything I make on Patreon, everything I make on YouTube, and everything I make through Twitch. That goes to buying kits. I would not have been able to pre-order this in February if it not been for your generous support. So thank you very much. If you subscribed 1 month, if you subscribed, if you've only been gifted subs, but you've been hanging out, if you've been on the Patreon at the $1 tier, thank you so much. If you tip me one time, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. That makes it possible for me to do what I'm doing now, which is buying model kits. Let's see. What else we got? So that is nice. That is helpful for me. I have an Amazon wish list. Now, this kit I'm building because it was voted on by my $10 patrons. But the next kit I build could be decided by you if you buy something from my Amazon wish list. Over there on my Amazon wish list, I've got I didn't put this in order, but I did just put a new item in there. I've got inexpensive Lego sets, more expensive kits, more expensive Lego sets, some model kits of various prices. I just added to the list because it has free delivery, the Rising Gundam from G Gundam. This is a kit. This is not a high grade. I built the Bolt Gundam before from this line. This is a non-grade line. They're like smaller and less detailed than a high grade. I built the Devil Gundam from this line before. They're very basic. They have a lot of stickers, but I've never built the Rising Gundam, and this would be a good way to do it because I think that kit is just a fun looking kit. So that's been added to the list. Again, that's $20 with shipping, with free shipping, but it's not Amazon. It's not Amazon Prime shipping, but it's free shipping, or whatever. It's Prime free shipping, but not Amazon Prime. They're different. It's weird. But yeah, I got a bunch of different kits in there, different prices. Some inexpensive, some very expensive. Some gear at the bottom. If there's something that you see on that list you think it would be fun for me to build on the stream, you could buy it. I'd build it on stream, and I'd give you credit. I'd give you a shout out. So consider looking at that, see if there's something there that you'd be like, oh, I would love for Pat to put that together on stream. Other things. I have a throne wish list. It's different from the other one. Different from the Amazon because it's good to have an Amazon alternative. So there's that. And also, if you just wanted to buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card, you send me a code. You get the code in your email. You send me that code as a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open on Twitter. That's just an alternative because it's nice to have an alternative. I don't have a wish list on any site like that, but I have that as an option. My Discord's free. We're going to get back to building really soon. My Discord is free. Check that out, obviously. It's free. I post build photos. People post stuff they're working on. Nice little community of folks over there. I got a couple videos, links to share with you. I would love it if you would check out my latest episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. I'm talking about weird manga premises again. Because there are some weird manga out there. Some weird ideas. Like, what about a romantic comedy about a ghost who haunts this house and a dude who can't see ghosts? That is a weird premise of a manga that I explored. The weirdest will they, won't they? One of the weirdest will they, won't they I've ever read. But yeah, I just talk about some oddball premises for manga that I think are fun. And I talk about 5 of them in the video. So take a look, see if there's anything in there that, maybe you'll find one that you're just like, I got to find out about this manga. That's such a weird premise. Maybe that one doesn't even really... I debate if that counts or not because it's not a manga. It's not an official manga in a digital magazine or anything. It's like a person on Twitter and Pivx. But whatever. It's a manga illustrator doing a comic, so I think it counts. Um, let's see. And then also, Do You Remembaer? Do You Remembaer is my weekly video series where I do some research, some hasty research, and then just turn the camera on and I try to remember everything that I just read about. This is me talking about Peter Cullen, the voice actor extraordinaire, the voice of Optimus Prime and Eeyore, but also the voice of Monterey Jack, which I didn't know until I read it, who had stopped doing the voice of Optimus Prime for years and years, but came back for the Transformer movies, the live action ones, and then has done some other voice for that as well, but has been in a bunch of things. He's like done a bunch of voices in G.I. Joe, and just like a prolific voice actor with a long resume. The guy to start in radio, and is also Canadian. I learned a lot about Peter Cullen, and I remembered most of it. He was also the first voice of Mario, the first English voice of Mario, because there was a Saturday show that had a bunch of video game stuff, including a Donkey Kong cartoon, and in that Donkey Kong cartoon, Peter Cullen voiced Mario, so he's the first English language Mario. And I did not know that until I read that article. And it's fucking weird to know that. Anyway, I'm going to talk about some anime and some manga here. We're going to get into that. So first, we're going to do that. But I'm also going to drink water. I need it. I need to hydrate. And while I do that, we are going to dramatically transition into that by hitting this button and drink a little water. And then we'll get back to model kit building. Okay. All right. Well, Lord Crouching wants me to dance, so shoot, I'm going to dance right now before we get into some anime talk. Oh, yeah. Clapping. I need D and C, and we'll get B out here, too. Enough of that. I think we're gonna all grow to love that song. It's only August 1st. We've only heard it twice. I think eventually we're all gonna be like, oh yeah, I have enough channel points to hit the dance button. I'm gonna hit that dance button. I think we're all gonna really enjoy that song eventually. Maybe not right now, but eventually we're gonna enjoy that song that you would also hear on YouTube, like play as people are like having a montage of like assembling or of like sanding furniture, but you don't want to hear that sanding noise. The song is used in corporate training videos. Yes, in my mind, it's used for like the people that, you know, rescue old furniture off Facebook Marketplace and then like clean it up, and they're just like, oh, this is what I got to sand, and no one wants to hear the sanding noise, so here's this do as they're doing the work. I watch a lot of those videos. Okay. Turn off your phones. Yeah. Let's talk about anime. We got to talk about some anime. It's important that right now we chat about anime. So, Parallel World Trouble. Parallel World Pharmacy. Why did I say trouble? Parallel World Pharmacy is an anime that I have been enjoying. Last episode, our dude came up with a cure to pneumonia and saved the Empress. So people are just like, oh wow, this treatment must be from the gods. And our dude is like bit praised for it. And the Empress is just like, hell yeah. And then our dude Pharma's dad is just like, just so you know, people might think that this is heresy. Just going to let you clued into that. Also, perhaps the Empress might have been infected on purpose. They might have put someone close to her that was sick in order to get her sick. So you got to like know that. Yeah. Oops. You got to like be aware that shit could be happening. Stuff could be happening. So be aware of that. You know, kid who is a doctor. let's see. He's going to get rewarded. And Pharma's like, all right, well, now's my time to open up a pharmacy. I'm going to open up a pharmacy, and a hospital. And we're going to treat commoners and nobles. Because that's how I roll. And that's what I want to do. That is the choice that I have made. Let's see. He like talks to the Empress, who is like, oh well, I almost died of this illness. Am I really right to rule? And he's just like, I mean, he should just be like, I don't know, lady, you're the Empress. What do you want from me? But he was just like, no, yeah, everything's gonna be good. Let's see. She recovers. Pharma's dad gets some new land. Pharma is promoted. He's promoted to a royal pharmacist. He's now a royal pharmacist, so he can open up his pharmacy. And he designs a pharmacy that he's always wanted. Because that's the thing. This dude, this reincarnated dude, when he was alive, always thought about opening up a little pharmaceutical place, having a pharmacy. That was always the thing that he wanted. This was always the thing that he would really thought he would do someday. So now he's got the opportunity to do it. It's just he's doing it now while he is in a fantasy world. So it's a little different. Not exactly what he envisioned the first time. F gray F's gray. Okay. Also, he's kind of like mumbling to himself because they have to name it, and he's just like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, oh, it's so neat that I'm doing this. It's so weird that I'm opening a parallel world pharmacy. And they were like, great, we're going with that. And he's like, what? No? It's one of the silliest things that's happened in this story is that the name of the pharmacy is the name of the anime, Parallel World Pharmacy. That's now the name of his pharmaceutical. So that's silly and weird that happened, but I don't dislike that nonsense. Let's see. Charlotte, who was his maid, he is now hired to be like an errand person and an assistant. I don't remember if let's see. If like his teacher is gonna work there, but she chases off immediately, like instantly. He opens up, and the head of the guild, the pharmacy guild, is like there to be like an asshole because our dude is going to charge people a reasonable amount of money for drugs, and that shit does not fly. That is clearly frowned upon. Okay, so did I do? So this piece, maybe it is right. Yeah. Okay. This piece needs to be like this. All right, I think that is right. Okay. It's hard to tell if I did this wrong or not, but we'll find out. But this piece should, okay, because it wants to go like that. It should bend. All right, I think I did this right. Anyway, he gets chased off. Everything's okay. Hey, he needs someone to help run the books. And it just so happens that coincidentally, the accountant that used to work for his dad was forced to retire because his legs aren't so great, named Cedric. And so our main character is just like, hey, if you work for me, I'll pay you and all that. And also, I'll make it so that I will help treat you. I'll treat your injury. How's that sound? And he agrees. And probably Pharma's dad, deliberately made Cedric retire so that he would come work for his son. That probably happened, which is great. And that's the episode. So now we're in the pharmacy shit. So now he's going to help people, and there's going to be some small problems and big problems, and now we're really in the goddamn anime. Oh, by the way, we got to get the hand done here, but we are almost ready where we can connect this, and we got one arm done. So now we can work on the hand. We'll get the hand done here. F15. And I can tell you about my Isekai life. I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. Which is, it's silly, but I do like this. This anime's got heart, and I do like it. I do think it is a goofy anime, but I've been enjoying it. Last episode they passed our guy Yuji and all his slimes and his wolf summon, his wolf companion. They passed this creepy village they didn't stick around in. Later, we know as an audience members, that place is a front for this cult. This cult that's trying to summon monsters and is been fairly successful in doing so. We know, oh shit, yeah, that's the cult. But our guy doesn't know that. Yuji doesn't know that. But he later learns that place is supposedly abandoned. And he's like, well, what happened? Anyway, this one's about going to this town that shit's gotten weird. There's a lot of snow. It's unseasonably cold, and there's a lot more snow than there should be. And the people were not prepared for it and are dealing with a lot of shit. Now, this town is supposed to be well known for its food. So Yuji's just like, all right, well, that sucks, but I don't know. I'll get some work, and I've heard very good things about this place, and I'm going to get some grub. And they're like, we would love to serve you food. The thing is, we don't have it because of all of the various problems that our town is facing because of all the snow. We're like, this one place he goes to, they do not have enough firewood to cook in, and also, they're like, we need to use our firewood to stay warm, so we cannot help you. And in fact, it's tough because there's a lot of trees out there, but they need to be aged so that they're dry enough. This is great because this sets up a chain of events where people are incredibly and utterly just completely cannot handle the fact that Yuji is so strong and so good at what he does, because of course he is good at chopping down trees. And then, hey, guess what? The slimes can suck the moisture out of things, and so they age the wood. And luckily, it seems like the slimes like that. They enjoy this tree flavored water, so they're happy. And Yuji eats this food, and it's the best food he's eaten in this world. And he's only been there a week, but whatever. Best food he's had in this world. And he has this twice. And I'm not saying that this reaction that he has is as dirty and gross as Food Wars, but it is as passionate about how great food is. It is that euphoric thing. And then later when the slimes and Proud Wolf also get some food, they also react in a similar way. But it is just the best shit, and he has it's not orgasmic, but it is euphoric response to eating this food. So he's like, I gotta help these people out. And he's like, while I'm at it, I'm gonna help everybody out. Because they're like, yeah, I can make my best dish for you, but there have been these monsters that have been attacking the only herbs of this kind. And he's just like, oh yeah? And he just goes out and kills all these monsters because he wants to get the good food. While he's out there, though, stumbles across a orb that is sucking all of the magic in the area. And maybe that's why, it's probably why, the weather has been so weird, is because this orb has really goofed up. Is this the wrong one? Did I do the wrong one here? Is that A21? Should have been A21. Did I pull? I did. I pulled A22 by mistake. Wrong piece. Fixing it. Don't worry about it, everybody. I got this. Anyway, he purifies it, and then he's like, all right, I got to find these other stones because this is probably related to the people that have been fucking around that I've been dealing with. And then he blows up part of the forest and finds an underground, an entrance to some kind of underground area. And that's next episode. Again, I'm still a week behind on this show. I do plan on eventually catching up on that. I'm going to do hey, I've caught up on that because I'm behind on that. And at least one other show. Oh, I think I'm behind on Call of the Night and um, the Babysitter's Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. I'm behind on that as well. So maybe Thursday I'll just get caught up on all of those shows because it would be nice to be caught up. All right, this goes in this, and this goes in here. All right, we did it. I did one whole arm. Hell yeah. Now it's time to start all over and do everything I just did, but do it again. But this time for the other arm. So we'll get started on the other arm there. And now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about manga. I've got some manga to say. I've got manga to say. I got 2 manga series. Only one of them is an isekai, and it's a weird it's an interesting take on the isekai genre. It is a take on the villainous subgenre thing, like the I've died and been reborn in a dating game or a novel about a villainess, and I'm the villainess, and I'm going to change the story. That is the plan for our girl. Our girl, Emmy, wakes up, and she is in the body of the villainess. I forget the character's name. I'm looking at it right now. Remmelia. Yes, so Emmy is in Remmelia. Here's the deal. This is the twist. This is the fucking big twist about this one. Because right off the bat, you're like, oh, yeah. I've read these. I've seen these. Hey, this girl got reincarnated and took over the body of this villainess. The villainess is still conscious inside of her. And she's like in this void, and she is watching Emmy be this girl. And also she has shared memories now. Emmy does not know about the real Remmelia, except the fact that Emmy read this book and always sided with the villainess. She always said, like, this is just a girl that was unloved, and then when, like, the one person that she looked to build a love with betrayed her, she just, like, couldn't handle it and had to, and, like, went too far. But, you know, the story does bad by her. And so, through this hardworking, loving young lady, our character, like, kind of like loves her like a sister, or like has come to love her because she loved her, and she's like, okay. So she's just for 10 years, she watches this girl like change the main characters, like help them out, like support them, let them grow, kind of push them, all the supporting dudes. And even when the star maiden, the girl that eventually would take her, you know, her betrothed, the prince, away, she still, like, tries her best not to be harmful to her. And it's especially weird when the star maiden turns out to be, like, kind of weird. And then we find out the star maiden is also a reincarnation who knows the game and is very pissed off that the villainess is not a villain. It's like, no, you're supposed to be mad at what I'm doing, and then you become evil, and I win. If you're not evil, then I don't get good stuff. So she clearly is not a great person. And, of course, Emmy gets betrayed. She still loses out after all that. She still doesn't, you know, she doesn't win. It still goes her. And she is shocked. She is shocked so much that she's gone. And suddenly, Remmelia takes over again. This is in, like, the first 2 chapters, right? Remmelia just takes over again, and he's in that body. And she doesn't, like, lose control or go for it. Because she's like, this is the beautiful character motivation of this story. And the reason why I find it interesting is she's like, no, Emmy deserves all the happiness in the world, and you took it from her, so I'm going to ruin you and ruin all the people that sided with you. But also, I'm going to I'm going to create a perfect world that Emmy would have thrived in. And I'm going to rebuild my reputation. I'm going to do everything I can to create a world that she would have loved. Because the only person that ever cared about me is this girl that took over my life and tried to have a happy ending. And the reason why Emmy strove to have this happy ending was to give that character a happy ending. And then, and it failed. So now she's like, no, I'm gonna win. And so she's going about like starting a village, gaining sympathy with people, helping out some folks, creating connections. She's going where I've left off on the story. She's going around the world, solving the events because she knows the events of the story, and she also knows that the Star Maiden's not doing any of this stuff. So she's just like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to solve problems and spread good word and help people out and cure illnesses and also make people think that I am rad. And by me, I mean like for the memory. Because she's hoping maybe one day this girl will come back and they can, I don't know, both inhabit the body. I don't know. I don't understand that part. And she's still a villainess, but you get the sense that like, she doesn't really hate being a good person. That like when someone called her a saint, she wasn't like upset about it. Like she's still helping. She's helping orphans out. And she's still like, well, yes, I need them to, I do need them to be in my town and to like, it's beneficial if they think I'm great. But you can tell she also wants to help people. But yeah, she knows how the video game works, so she's going around. And is she going to get her revenge on the Star Maiden? Yeah, I mean, she should. Also, because she knows that everything's building to the Demon Lord coming back, but like, she was the one in the video game or the novel that summoned the Demon Lord. So she's just like, I don't have to worry about that. My assumption is that the Star Maiden is going to summon the Demon Lord, and they'll just reverse roles. But either way, it's a good fucking anime. Or manga. Sorry. It's a good manga, and I recommend it. It is, again, called The One Within the Villainess, and it takes some turns. It is pretty fucking rad. So, I recommend it. The other one, I'm not as hot on. Story of an unemployed champion and a princess who together find their happiness. This is one of those, like, it's definitely based on a light novel. It's telling you, it's all on the tin. You get a sense of what this whole story is. But basically, everyone gets a class, like a job. Everyone gets a profession. And you do the profession you've been given. So there's no free will on that. Now, how good you are at the job is up to you. But so everyone just kind of falls back on that, right? And there's one group of people that get unemployed. And for whatever reason, they're the low end of the totem pole. Because it's like, the idea is like, oh, you're not good at anything. You don't have any talent. But they do. Because our main character was the champion in a coliseum. He was the best sword person because he has the natural ability to, once he's seen someone use their skills, he can copy them. And he's also a very good swordsperson. He's just good swordsman. And he shouldn't be, right? Because he should need the sword skill to be a good swordsman. But he doesn't need that. And that makes people fucking furious that he's so good at doing that. Because he, quote unquote, should not be able to. That he gets driven out. He gets removed. He doesn't get to do that anymore. And he's stuck and he doesn't know what he's going to do. And then he takes a job request, which turns out to be from a princess. And she's just looking for support. She's looking for someone to like make her a better swordsperson. You shouldn't use the low end of the totem pole. Oh, you're right, Lashbrook. That is an expression that I should not be using. You're totally right, Lashbrook. I use that without thinking, and thank you for mentioning that. The short end of the stick. They are the bottom of. Yes, you're totally right, Lashbrook. It is because the bottom is the most important part. It is the low end of society. basically everyone thinks that if you do not have a job, if you were unemployed, and you do not have a skill, that you are worthless. And he has been proving people wrong. And he meets a princess that is looking to, I guess, do away with the system. But at the very least, she is looking for someone to fight her on an even level. And so, because she hired her maid. Her maid is not, her job is not maid. Her job is like assassin or spy or something. I can't remember. I apologize. I don't remember exactly what her job is. But her job is not maid. And they work well together. And he defeats a very strong person who has been shitty to the princess. But he's probably going to end up being her bodyguard as well. And maybe he's going to help her with the kingdom. And do I think that they're going to, like, fall in love? Probably. I don't think they need to fall in love, but I think they probably will fall in love because it makes for a better story if they find their happiness in there. It also could just be a friendship thing. That could be another way to go. But so far, good. I am going to keep reading it, I think. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm like, about it. Like, I liked it, but I don't love it. I could see myself kind of losing interest eventually. The action is really good. It's well drawn. I will give it that. So even if the premise is not like my favorite or really like super speaking to me, it is like good. It is like a good series. The art is really strong. And the art, like, there's only a couple things I don't read because I hate the art so much. I forget the name of it, but there's one manga out there that has a premise I really like, and I forget the name of it, so I apologize. But like, the art is so slapdash and shitty that I just was like, I'm going to stop reading this. Like, even if I think the story is good, like, I just think that the art is so subpar. But for the most part, I'll give you like rushed art or not the best art. And that's it for manga talk. Now's the time for video game talk. What are you playing out there right now? And also, movies and music and whatever. Like, let me know. I was checking out Funny Rave. If you want to go to twitter.com/funnierrave, that's Funnier Rave, you can find a list of all of the YouTube VODs for it. We rated that on Saturday, Funny Rave, and it was really good. We ended up rating the acoustic set, which I did not know. Like, I didn't know what was happening. Most of the sets were DJs and people who are putting together playlists and making interesting versions of songs paired. And some of them did them themselves. Other people were just working with various friends and collaborators to put together some music in a way and visualizers in a way that was really striking and really good. This was just like an incredibly solid thing. I caught myself there all the time. I'm going back to some of the ones I missed for various reasons, including streaming on Saturday, and trying to check those out. But a lot of people I know contributed. On Sunday, Jeff Gersman did all of the announcing of the various groups, obviously recorded it ahead of time. But he did a very DJ announcing that I thought was really fun. He seemed to have a good time with that part of it. And yeah, it was cool. Lord Crashton says, I finished Power Wash Simulator, and that's a great way to end the game. It also has very clever credits and a nice post-credit scene. I have not finished that game. I am just plugging along. I don't play for too long on that last stage. I think I'm like 55-60% done with it. I'll get there. I'm just a ways away. I just know that I'm a ways away. Let's see, what do you got here? On Manga, Lashbrook says, I finished season 2 of Kagaguri and picked up the manga again, and it was very funny for me that the anime ended right before the manga introduced a cryptocurrency. Oh, jeez. I am not surprised that there is a cryptocurrency in that show. That makes total sense for the kinds of characters in that there would also be a cryptocurrency. That does not surprise me in the least. John says, enjoying some raft with friends and finally hitting plat Apex Legends. Don't play that game solo. I hear you. I won't. Um, Video games for me. Multiverses. Still playing. I'm still maining Batman. The grapple. You know, it's still just so good. Just like shooting around. It's just very fun. Still doing okay in that game. I'm not great at it, but I'm not bad at it. And that's not enough, but it's something. It's something to be like, I am not bad at this game. I'm still enjoying my time with it. Is what I'll say there. It's not technically a cryptocurrency because there's no blockchain, but it's basically the same notion, and also grift. Of course it is. Tomorrow, I believe, is tomorrow the expansion? There's a new expansion for Hearthstone soon. It might even be tomorrow. I can't remember. It's coming. There's a new expansion for Hearthstone coming, and so I am fairly excited about that because I do. I don't know. I do like. I need. That's F6. I need E4. Great. I do still like playing Hearthstone. It's coming out soon. I'm excited about that because there's going to be new cards for Evolved Shaman, and I really like Evolved Shaman, so I am excited about that and get my Evolved decks going there. I am going to try Bear and Breakfast. A couple people I know did not enjoy the game, were really down on it, but a bunch of other people I know were really amped on it. So I ended up picking it up, and I am going to play it on Wednesday. I'm going in cold. I think I'll get it started and like make sure it all works, but then I'll like restart. So I'll be pretty cold going into to that game, but I am interested to see how I feel about it because I have heard, some very good things and a few people that just were unhappy with Bear and Breakfast, but I do want to check it out. And also, it is a game with the name Bear in it, and we play those on this channel. So that's Wednesday's stream is me checking out Bear and Breakfast. I hope you'll come out to it because it'll be fun. I think you'll have fun. I want you to have a good time, and I think you will. All right, so let's get that together. These don't really feel great when they go together like this, but whatever. And then I need a 1. Also, for what I've been playing, says Lashbrook, it's open season on the Analog Pocket and Piracy. So I have been playing some arcade pit games like Operation C for the Game Boy, which is really good, and Super Monkey Ball Jr. for the GBA, which is advertised. That's the Bear Law. Yeah, Bear Law is that if it's a video game with Bear in it, I will probably play it, or I should play it. Lasper says, I woke up this morning and there's already a Neo Geo core that mostly works. Okay, so there you go. Analog Pocket. People are fucky with it. Great. I hope that goes very well. People play a lot of cool games on it and enjoy. I totally. I understand. I have my Game Boy Advance and DS emulators to play Pokemon games on stream because that is the easiest way to do that, and I am happy to do that so that I can play those games without having to have my DS out with some expensive or weird way to get a signal out and a capture card and all that. So instead, I just emulate it, and it works out real good. I've been playing Rocket League on mobile, says Bobby Dice Roller. Okay, all right, Bobby. It's a really good version of the game. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I haven't played Rocket League in a long-ass time. It has been a real long time since I've been Rocket Leaguing, I should say. Not Rocket Leaguing. Well, I hope that's fun. Great. I'm glad that's a good version. I would want it to be. It's 2D side view and it curls differently, but it works really well. Okay, that makes sense to do it to make it just like a different thing. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, there's a mobile version. Okay, well, there you go. But yeah, it makes sense that it's like a 2D. Like they would have to change it up, and it makes sense that they changed it up because you couldn't just do it identical. All right, I need the dark blue F. We do have to put the stickers on this, but I want to get this finished here. The dark blue F is this one. Then I need A20. F30. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Rocket League Mobile is also nice because it's completely free. I haven't even seen a way to give them any real money. Oh, that makes sense. It's like, because it's kind of like it's maybe just like an advertisement for the other version of the game, like put it out there, just like try to get saturate as many people as possible with the name, and then like eventually just be like, hey, Rocket League though. If you like this Rocket League, check out the other Rocket League. That kind of thing. Sorry. It's like 2.5 Xenoblade Chronicles behind. Oh, John's behind on them. Okay. You got the Chronicles 3. It gets very anime very quickly. That makes sense. Makes total sense that is very anime. 100 episodes into One Piece now, and have met Luffy's brother and Smoker's crew that are conveniently around when big shit is about to go down. Yep, indeed, that is true. And yes, Lord Crashington, there's a lot of fucking lore in the One Piece, and it's all about the lore. I mean, the action scenes are really fun, the characterizations, all that, but like the thing that Oda is interested in is big cool fights, silly moments, and of course, exploring the various backstories. Loves doing that shit, loves getting into it real deep. Loves getting into the weeds. That's what Oda's there for. I've played 20 to 30 hours of XC1 and XC2. I feel comfortable jumping into 3. There you go. I mean, yeah. Hey, you know what, Aristophan? I'm not going to stop you. If you want to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I say you should play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And you shouldn't let anybody tell you otherwise. You should just go for it and do it up. We're going to get these stickers done, and then we're going to end there. We got through a whole arm. These shoulders are just like... Look, first of all, it's a master grade. Master grades take longer to build than... I'm not trying to justify, I'm just letting you know. Master grades take longer to build than high grades, certainly. And these shoulders are complicated. There's a lot going on here. So I knew we weren't going to get through both arms today. I did think we'd get some of the second arm done, which we did not. But I got to get these stickers in just right. Old ass stickers. There we go. I got quiet there. Sorry. Can't pick up another Jammer G. You barely scratch the surface on Live Alive. Yeah, I understand. I get you. I mean, that's a whole ass JRPG, so that shit takes time. All right, so 7 is this one, and then 8 is on the back. Great. Let's get this going here. Just trying to get these on. This should be a little easier than the other one. All right, let me just... So again, if I compare these, I don't think the stickers are that bad, and I think the color matching is good, but I would much prefer these to be layers of plastic. Since this whole thing is a bunch of interconnected layers of plastic anyway, I do wish that it was like this. It was more like this plastic on there than these stickers, but you get what you get. Also, it would be nice if Power Similar added a decimal point, which hit 99.4%. Oh, yeah, I can see that. I do want to finish that game. I just haven't. I've had other stuff going on. But I do want to eventually get to the end of the road on that. See how we get there. But I'll just have to find some time this week and while I'm doing, like, well, there's a podcast or something on. Do that. All right, shoulders are done. We got the time for me to take some photos here because I'm not going to get started on the rest of the arm here. We'll get to that later. But I do want to... What I'm going to do for this is I'm going to take photos of it with the things closed and with them open because that's important. It's important to have both these. So we'll just put them here where it's nice and bright. There's that. And then open this up, open up the doors. It's missiles and machine guns. Really show off all of the various weapons at our disposal on this kit. The comparison. Which is good. Let's get under a light. Yeah. And then we'll close that up because it's easier to have them closed for convenience. But this kit's coming along. Again, the nice thing here was I only panel lined like the little bit of the gold here, the yellow on the shoulders, but none of this really needed. I guess there is a little bit I can do here, right there. I can hit that with black, I guess. But there's not a lot of panels to line in this panel line. So you just hit that there. Also, it's all very dark colors, so it doesn't really need it. The legs will need it because the legs are pretty bare. They're pretty light. Anyway, that's going to do it for the stream. I want to thank everybody for spending some time with me tonight, hanging out, watching the stream. I appreciate it very much. I hope you have a great rest of your night. My next stream, obviously, model kit building on Thursday, but the next stream is on Wednesday, where I will go and do other stuff, which again is checking out Bear and Breakfast. I really want to check that game out, so we're going to do that. I mean, I purchased it, so I should definitely do that. We are going to end with a raid. That is how we end every stream, is we go and hang out and see what's going on in the world of streaming. We always end with a raid, so we're going to go find someone cool to go hang out with. I hope you'll come along on that. Again, yes, we do. As John says, we always end with a raid. Let's see. Who's doing stuff that we know? These people, and we want to go hang out with them. It's Monday. I guess we probably should go hang out with Mary Kish, because we usually raid Mary on a Wednesday, and Mary is playing Stray, and Stray is fun. So we are going to go raid Mary, because Mary rules, and it's good to go and support her, even if we do have issues with the company she works at. We don't have issues with Mary. So we're going to go give Mary a raid. Feel free to come along in this raid. If not, hope to see you on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. She just finished The Quarry, says Lord Grashton, so you missed the spooky stuff. That sounds great. I don't want to see the spooky stuff. And she likes the spooky stuff, and I don't like the spooky stuff, but I do like her. So we're going to go raid Mary, who's playing Stray. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, Bear and Breakfast. Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, the other arm of this kit, and then what's next, which is probably the feet. Maybe the waist. I don't remember. But we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye.